Hello everybody, welcome back to the Gear 426 channel. I have already cleaned up the Hemi, so now we're gonna go ahead and start installing some new parts. So we are putting most of the motor back together, not the entire thing, and we are doing it with all of this stuff. So what I have here is some MSD Street File coils. Pretty nice, a good upgrade. I also have a Milodon pickup tube, Milodon gasket, or oil pan gaskets. There's two of them in here. Milodon Windage tray and oil pan, along with their own bolts and whatnot. Which, by the way, have fun with Milodon. I'm already kind of disappointed. I mean, it's some good quality stuff, but I don't need that, so I have to find a plug for that, which sucks. And there's just a bunch of other stuff that I found too, where I'm just like... I had to look for all this stuff and figure all this out on my own because Milodon's website looks like it was made in 2001 and they never updated it. So yeah, this is kind of a pain in the butt. They should honestly just sell all of this in a kit, but they don't. Anyways, we also have some brand new NGK plugs. These are actually a step colder than what the truck motors take, which is what that one is, but those are the correct plugs for the XL motors, I believe is what they're called, which are found in the Magnums, Chargers, and Challengers. I also have some brand new OEM valve covers, because I broke the last ones. Now, do you remember how absolutely nasty this engine was? Well, now take a look at it. It's all nice and clean. It looks great. No more junk anywhere. Cleaned the whole thing up. I got rid of all that grime at the bottom of the motor. It's looking really nice. Even the intake manifold, which is sitting on top of my table of mess, is significantly nicer. All clean and whatnot, which is great. I decided to go ahead and clean the intake manifold of the engine off camera because, let's face it, that's kind of boring, and I'm not trying to make this boring. I want it to be informational, but also a little bit entertaining, which I don't think we're really striking on the entertainment part, but yeah. Now, if you guys don't remember how like absolutely nasty and filthy this engine was, go ahead and check out the last video. It's up in the corner. And before we go ahead and start bolting out all the new parts, go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you're at it. Have a whole bunch of stuff coming out. You know, you might like it, you might not, who knows. By the way, we're swapping this Hemi into that Dakota, in case you didn't know. Okay, since the motor is already in that position right there, facing up, we're gonna go ahead and start with spark plugs, valve covers, and coil packs. And no, we are not putting on the intake manifold today because I wanna have the engine in the truck before I put the intake manifold on. It'll just be a little bit easier with trying to shoehorn it into this truck. So let's go ahead and start with all these guys. All these are pre-gapped, but you wanna go ahead and make sure anyways. Grab yourself a feeler gauge or a spark plug gap tool and make sure that it is 0.044 of an inch. Also, you want to go ahead and torque all these guys down to 20 foot-pounds. I'm going to go ahead and install all of them first, and then I'll run around and torque every single one of them about 2 times over just to make sure. So we got our valve cover. Thankfully they're ambidextrous, they're all the same. I somehow was missing one of these, so I had to go ahead and pull one off of the old valve cover, which thankfully this is all OEM, so it's not a big deal. Gonna go ahead and tighten these down. It's 70 inch-pounds, and apparently there's a torque sequence on this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're gonna do that on here because I wanna make sure there's no leaks. Something else that I also did while off camera while cleaning this is I chased every single hole with a tap to make sure that they are completely clean of any kind of crud and whatnot so that we won't have any issues. It kind of blows my mind that it's this low of torque, but I mean, it's on there and it's sealed, so that's what Dodge says to do. That's what I'm going to do. Since the camera's already on this side, let's go ahead and install all the coils, and then we will do the same on the other side. Something really cool about MSD, besides the fact that it's MSD, they've already greased all your boots for you, so you just gotta put these guys in there and you're set to go. I have absolutely no idea what the torque spec is on this, but to be fair, there's really no point in torquing these down. I like to torque down everything that has to deal with like the engine and seals. That's about it. This, I mean, come on, just don't over tighten. I kind of wish they were red, but oh well. It looks sick. So nice and clean. Let's go and get the other side done. Oh god, I haven't messed with too many modern engines besides like the one in my Z. At least building them and having fun with them like this. I've serviced them tons of times, but oh, this is looking so nice. I can't wait to have this more modern engine in here. And yeah, it's 2006, whatever. It's more modern than what's at that. That thing still has a distributor. Well, let's go ahead, flip it back over, start working on the oiling system. Okay, so before anybody's like, hey, what about that rod bolt that you didn't like deal with or whatever the hell? Stop. I know that the rod bolts are torqued to yield. From the last video, whenever I took the number 3 cylinder rod cap off, I have replaced the bolts with OEMs. Then I torqued them down to 15 foot-pounds plus 90 degrees because that's what the factory service manual calls for. So I have dealt with that. Now we can move past that and go on to the rest of what we're doing. If I knew then what I knew now, I probably wouldn't have gotten the windage tray from Milodon or their gaskets. I would have just used an OEM gasket because it comes with its own windage tray. But I didn't know that whenever I was ordering the stuff, so we're using the Milodon windage tray and 2 gaskets, which I'm not comfortable doing. That's what it says to do. Something I want to go ahead and do before I put the first gasket on is I want to put a little bit of sealant here, 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 and here. That's where the timing cover gasket and the rear main seal gasket, like not the seal, but the rear main seal gasket, bolt up. So we want to go ahead, put a little bit of ultra black, just to make sure that we don't have any sealing issues. That's it. All right, now we can go ahead and set down the first gasket, which I think I have it backwards because it's not lining up. There we go. Now it's lining up. Okay, so I goofed a little bit. Leave me alone. Yes, I know this might sound crazy that we're putting the windage tray on first before pickup tube. That's because, well, we kind of have to. If we put the pickup tube in, this won't fit. This is just good practice. Put a little bit of oil on the O-ring, please. There we go. These are the original bolts that came off with the old pickup tube. So I got the torque wrong on the pickup tube and the pickup tube mount. It is 250 inch-pounds for both of them. And yes, I did go back and retorque them. All right, pickup tube's installed. Now we take our other gasket right here, and now the oil pan goes on. So, believe it or not, there's actually a torque sequence for this too. Pretty much you just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty much just start here, then you just go set, 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 set. You get the idea. Pretty much how the valve covers worked. It's 105 inch-pounds all the way around. Alright, so the Milodon oil pan is on. And there's already some problems that I don't like. This is one of the brackets for the bottom of the transmission. It goes right here. But I can't get it on. And that's a problem. And I honestly don't know with how close this is right here, if it'll even fit there. So I'm rather going to have to take my grinder to the oil pan, shave this down a little bit so it will fit on both sides, or take my grinder to this bracket. What I'm going to do first though is I'm going to check and see if there is another bracket that I could possibly use that doesn't have this lip right here. Or I'm just going to go ahead and check and see what a lot of other guys have done for this issue, because that's kind of a freaking problem. And I would say, oh no, it's not a big deal. We could just go ahead and take the flywheel off and slide it on and then bolt it down. The only issue with that is this is my only access to the torque converter bolts. So I can't do that. I don't know. I'll figure it out and then I'll tell you guys what the solution is for this. Hopefully there's just another bracket I can use. If not, probably just gonna modify this one. So yeah, that's the MIlodon oil pan put onto the motor. I also got the dipstick for this MIlodon oil pan from Milodon, and it doesn't fit. Go figure. Which is fine because I prefer the way that the old one is. A lot more accessible. So we're just going to throw the old one back on, and I made sure that it could actually get all the way down into here. I'll just have to modify that one so that I know where the high and low level actually is. Also, the battery died on the GoPro, if that wasn't obvious, while I was torquing everything down. Go figure, it's the usual me thing. This at least happens once every other video, that the camera either overheats or the battery dies. But I did go over and torque down all the bolts like 4-ish times, pretty much until they wouldn't turn anymore before the click. All you guys with torque wrenches know what I'm talking about. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and attach the other transmission that's over there, that's out of a 2007 Dodge Ram, because this one from a 2006 might have some problems and it's filthy. So we're gonna be using the other transmission. I'm gonna go ahead and attach all those and figure out that bracket issue, and hopefully all that will be done by the next video, and I can tell you guys what the problems with that. And then maybe we'll start pulling apart the truck, or we'll start putting on the headers for this guy. So yeah, guys, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Stopping by for the first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.